Welcome to our Ayurveda talk. We're actually going to talk about a therapy that is one of the best therapies for a Vata individual. So, Vata is ether air. Vata is an individual that oftentimes has neurological issues, and they are the constitution that goes out of balance the fastest. Now, you could have Vata as your constitution, but you could also have Vata as an imbalance. And one of the therapies that we have that is one of the best treatments out there for Vata is called Basti. I like to talk about Basti because I also want to talk about colonics, because Ayurveda definitely has a lot to say about colonics. So I get asked a lot about colonics. When somebody is dealing with constipation, which is one of the main elimination issues that Vata tends to have, it can be very panicky. And I don't know if you guys have ever had constipation, but what typically starts to happen with people is it's one of those digestive elimination issues that causes a lot more anxiety for people compared to other types of issues. So I will work with people who have other digestive issues and they just don't find it as that big of a deal. That's just how I am. But when somebody has constipation, it's a whole nother thing. It becomes very uncomfortable very quickly. Well, Vata tends to have constipation issues pretty regularly. They are not regular. They have irregular elimination, which is not healthy. So one of the areas of Vata in the body that is important to keep healthy is the colon and also the large intestines. And just so you know, the colon, according to Ayurveda, is one of the most important organs to keep healthy, most important parts of the body to keep healthy, because it relates to all of our organs. It is one of the parts of the body that we want to make sure it stays clean and toned and rejuvenated. It is where we absorb our nutrients. So, Bastis are going to help hydrate and nourish the colon and the large intestines. And that in turn helps constipation issues. When somebody is coming to me and they have a lot of constipation stuff going on with Vata, I will typically try a lot of different things. Sometimes just massaging the lower belly can help. But Bastis are one of the wonderful, wonderful treatments in Ayurveda that is going to nourish and, like I said, once again, help with Vata type of elimination issues. So Basti is a therapy that is primarily used for Vata excesses. It means that excess of Vata has built up in the body. If you have constipation, that means you have an excess of Vata, too much dryness, too much irritation. It's too harsh. So we want to nourish it. Basti is a name for a bladder. So Basti is actual type of bladder. It's like a rubber bladder that we use to administer the oil into the body. So Basti is another word for enema. That's what it is. It's an enema. And if you haven't done enemas before, well, I'm going to explain it to you really quick. So the colon is related to all the other organs and tissues. That is why cleansing and toning the colon is so important, because that's going to help with healing and rejuvenation. Okay, so if you are dealing with a lot of issues with the body needing rejuvenation, a Basti is a good way to go. The colon is also, like I said, the main area of absorption of nutrients. Okay, so let's do a little side note here on colonics. What's the deal with colonics? Because I get a lot of clients that go, and that is how they deal with their constipation issues. I have a few clients that they go regularly, like once a week, and get a colonic. Well, colonics do help with constipation. However, colonics remove feces that are blocked, and at the same time, they tend to weaken the tissues and the mucous membranes. When you weaken the tissues and the mucous membranes, you then dry out that tissue even further. So it actually exacerbates the dryness and the dehydration that is going on that's causing the constipation. So it causes this vicious cycle that you have to constantly get colonics in order to eliminate, because you're actually drying out that area of the body. It's kind of, you got to be really careful. So it dries out the colon and it further imbalances Vata. Not good. And it's going to make it so Vata can never eliminate normally if you're doing colonics. So Bastis are a way of getting around that. It's typically the one that we use, the safest one, is an oil Basti. That's the only one that I've ever done, but there are also herbal ones that you can do that are really, really nourishing as well. It not only is going to flush out any feces that's just stuck in the colon, it's also going to remove excess of toxins that are stuck there. So doing a Basti is so gentle. It not only goes in and removes all the stuff that doesn't belong there, it nourishes at the same time. So it's doing two things. It's eliminating and it's nourishing. Whereas colonics, it's eliminating and it's drying out. It's actually exacerbating the elimination issues, the constipation issues. So a balanced and healthy colon function is then going to get restored when you do a Basti. And then the organs, remember, because the colon's connected to all of our body organs. So when you nourish the colon, you nourish all of your body organs. Everything's connected. So general benefits of a Basti enema is for disorders of chronic constipation, sciatica, lower back pain, arthritis, gout, rheumatism. Also helps with a lot of the neurological issues that Vata gets stuck in. And that would include like fear, anxiety, tics, even Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, and even osteoporosis it can help with, because it's going to nourish. Helps with muscle and nerve atrophy. Fantastic. It also is going to help with a lot of the mental conditions that Vata gets caught up in. So like I said, anxiety, fear, and even dementia and Alzheimer's. It can actually nourish the body so that you are less likely to go down that road. It also is great for sensory disorders. So if you're losing your sense of smell or you're having issues with your eyes, it will help your senses. So it's a really great treatment that Ayurveda offers. And if you haven't done it, then you should make an appointment with your Ayurveda practitioner and see if it would be an appropriate treatment for you. It's also part of the Panchakarma treatment. And right now it's spring, and I am taking about 16 different individuals through Panchakarma, also called the Ayurvedic Spring Cleanse. That's Panchakarma, though. It is a detoxification. You use detoxing techniques, and then we rebuild. Okay? And we rejuvenate. And as a result of that rejuvenation, it strengthens your tissues, your organs, your immune system. And it actually is going to lengthen your vitality and give you better energy. So Panchakarma is done, like I said, between seasons. In Ayurveda, there's only 3 seasons: Vata season, Pitta season, Kapha season. That's it. And then you cleanse in between seasons. So you cleanse in the spring right now, and you cleanse again in the fall. You do Panchakarma. Okay, so if you have any questions about Bastis, enemas, reach out to me and find out if it's an appropriate treatment for you, especially if you're dealing with Vata imbalances or your Vata, that you are a Vata and your Vata is high. Might be something that's perfect for you. Okay, so give it a try. And that is our talk for tonight. And let's move on into our practice.